Hey guys, welcome to another one of our videos. I am the Worm. This is the
I'm
Proton.
I'm ahead of the game.
What's going on?
Might be a word.
Today, we are doing a mod that Proton brought about a week and a half back.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we've kind of fallen behind with our own personal stuff because
We had bits and bobs to do.
we have bits and bobs.
Yeah, so basically
Things and stuff.
Things and stuff. Today we are doing the Corolla Mechanical Mod. This was from Pink-mule. We probably will put that up there somewhere. That is the Corolla Mechanical. Okay, it's literally a straight up mechanical mod. Very, very simple. I'll go through a few of the nitty gritty bits and bobs straight away. First off the bat, it is a telescopic, so as you can see I can telescope it. I'll bring it a little bit closer. Basically just keep twisting and it gets bigger and bigger.
Right up and I'll zoom in.
Okay, so you can telescope it, very, very nicely blended in there. It will take an 18350, an 18500 and an 18650. You can also use your kick on this, and you can use that with the 350 and 500, but not the 18650. Personally, I've been running it on the 500. This is one of the flat tops that Worm actually got sent through. 2210 mAh, so lovely big battery size, and it does look wicked. I'll quickly put this in. Basically, when you're putting the batteries in, what you want to do is you want to telescope it out a bit further than you need, like this. Okay, plug your battery in, screw your top on, and then you telescope it back till it meets the connection. There's a quite clear point where it's finished. It literally just won't turn. There, that's it, done. That's it in 18500. It is incredibly small, this thing. I mean, even in 500 mode, it is only just bigger than a Nova compared to the Bavarian 500.
This has got the extension cap, so it's not it's the same as the standard size. So.
But when it's in 350 mode, honestly, I could lose this thing. It really is that small. I know it's only about an extra centimetre and a half, but it does make a big difference when you're using it. It's just, I mean, you can't even see it in my hand. It's so small. It's fractionally, from the 510, fractionally bigger than a Nova with the drip tipping. So properly small.
I'd like to point out that is the bigger Nova that we've got, which is slightly like
it's about 3 or 4 mil longer than the other one, but it's minimal. Basically, this is 30. How much is it? 30. I'll pay 30 quid basically. It's 33.82, including tax. We got a 10% discount code, so I paid a fraction over 30 quid for it. So really good price. I was looking for sort of a well-built, cheap mechanical. It is chrome dipped brass. It is not stainless, but to be honest with you, it's very good quality. It's not picking up scratches at all. It does pick up fingerprints, but obviously it's very polished, so it's going to. A few of the features, basically your button there, that's locked in a minute. You've got a little screw on the button here. I just screw that down like that, and that allows me to push the button, and then you screw it back up, and that will, there we go, that will lock your button off. It's as simple as that. Another cool feature on the side here, we're going back in, we were never out. On the side there, you may see it's got some air holes. You can adjust this airflow using this ring here. See, it screws down like that, and that cuts off your airflow. So if you've got a flush fitting device that feeds from the 510, you can actually manually adjust your air hole, which is really cool as well. Build quality of the thing, it's very solid. It is very solid. It's made by the same people who made the Lambo. When we were speaking to Minder over on Skype, he went, ooh, not a good thing, because he bought a lava tube and was not very happy with it. Personally, I love this thing. It's very well weighted with this 500 in. It's slightly top heavy. To take apart, it is really simple. It's literally, you can screw your connection off like that. There goes your 510. There goes your adjustable airflow ring. Then you've basically got your native connection in there. You literally take your bottom cap off, pop out your battery, and you can unscrew this eventually all the way to the end. We're getting there.
It is a long screw thread in there, guys. It does go all the way up that center
all the way up this center tube, but that is it in its parts. It's really, really simple, nice and easy to use. We have experimented with it a little bit, and then we'll get back onto it, but the Vamo tube does fit on this as well. If you're just going to run it in 18650 and you want it solid, you could use a Vamo tube. Yeah, you could use Vamo tube, yeah.
I would like to say this thing doesn't like me. It really doesn't. Like the screw, the lock off to the button seems to just tighten itself up, so it won't fire on me. The top unscrews on me, and any device I put on it just seems to flood instantly. I touch it, flood.
But then that wasn't just this, was it? It was everything you touched yesterday flooded.
Yeah, it was all that.
He did manage to flood a Nova. I don't know how, but he managed to flood a very, very well built Nova. Let's say in terms of build quality, everything feels solid. The only thing that feels a little bit cheaper is this adjustable airflow ring because it's slightly thinner, but still it's nice and solid. It's not going anywhere, and that just literally screws back onto here like so, and then
does it only go one way? That screw, that air hole.
What do you mean? Can I turn it over?
Yeah, can you turn it over? Is it adjustable?
Well, if it doesn't.
I don't know. It's just something we can try now.
Yep, goes on both ways.
Goes on both ways. There you go, guys. So
that's it. Hold on. It's gone. It's gone down, but now I can't adjust it way down. Might not go on both ways. Let me just check that. I'll flip it back over. No, it goes on one way. There is a slight lip at the top.
There you go.
So it does go on one way. Make sure it's the right way. Will you be able to tell? Be able to screw it on, and that just screws back on there. It's beautifully simple. It really is. I mean, I wanted a mechanical mod for a number of reasons. One, they're very versatile. Two, they're cheap. Three, there's no interference. There's no pulse modulation. And there's no, more importantly, chipset to stop you running any ohms you like. Main reason when I bought this is because I wanted to run seriously low resistance coils, like 0.4 ohms.
He says cheap, but it's not the cheapest mechanical out there. I would like to point out there are cheaper ones out there.
What?
I mean, the Spaghetti 19.
Spaghetti 19 is the same price, mate. It's 30 quid.
Yeah, but it's cheaper post and packaging, isn't it? Well,
from the UK, yes.
But like for the price for that, you can get that, the Vamo.
You can get the Vamo, but that they're two completely different types of device, though, aren't they? Yeah,
but I mean, for this, what he bought you for was a specific reason. But all I'm saying is that it is a cheap mod, but there are.
So it's not working. No, hold on. I'm not sure. There has been issues with everything that I've touched recently, and in fact, I've just taken.
I had it yesterday. He's having it today.
I am having one of these days. I am having one of those days.
Thank God it's not me today, because
what did I say? This hasn't happened with an Nova before. There you go. We're back again. I think I hadn't tightened the top up properly. Make sure you tighten everything up properly.
But yeah, I mean, I've used it a couple of times. When I do get it working with the device I'm using it on, it's beautiful. It performs exactly how it should. It's just a standard battery mod that when you've got full charge battery, it's going to run at 4.2. When it drops off, it's going to run close to like 3.4.
Until it's under load. Once it's under load, that does change slightly. I mean, your batteries, your 18650s, your 18350s, and your 18500s, they are 3.2 volts when dead and 4.2 volts when full, but that's not under load. So I'll put this in for the charge, 4.2 volts. Under load, that may drop to like 3.9. It has got a brass hot spring in the bottom of it, so that should improve the drop of that battery. Without it, they can drop as low as like 3.1. So it's really, really ridiculous if you haven't got that. I haven't actually got a volt to test this, so I can only give you inaccurate answers to this. I've got one, but not with me.
But no one's more interested in that everybody's waiting to hear about.
Fucking whore.
You sure?
Mm.
What else you got talked about? Were you just trying to stall stuff? You're just trying to stall.
No, I do want to point out as well. This is genuine stuff. You can buy the Vamo for this. With the Vamo will operate and it changes the voltage of that battery, so it's up and down, which is why you get a big rattlesnake effect. With this, you don't get a rattlesnake. With this, it's a constant because the voltage stays the same. It's constant. There's no chipset interfering trying to increase or decrease the voltage in this mod. So it is a cleaner vape. I've noticed if I have this set and I put the Nova on it, it doesn't taste as clean because you've got a constant voltage running through it. It doesn't taste as clean on the Vamo.
We noticed in previous videos with the Pravari compared to the Vamo sort of thing, it is a slightly more stable vape.
Even still though, this is more stable than the Pravari.
It is going to be. There's no chipset.
Because there's nothing interrupting this. It's literally you, the battery, the switch. There's no wires in this. It is totally mechanical, which is wicked. Because even when you get the cheaper mechanical ones, because they're probably about 13 quid in there, there's still wires from the switch. Now, you may say, oh, that doesn't make a difference. That affects how much amps you can run through them wires. Now, the model I'm thinking of, it's been tested quite high amps, but not as high as this will go, just one. It's not something that you want to do unless you're basically looking at a very easy mod to use, which this is. It doesn't get any simpler. You put the battery in and push the button. They're very rugged, this is. I can imagine I could probably drop this from quite a height without a problem. If it was one for Pravari, he'd probably go, no, and run for it.
I'll jump out the window after it.
Also, I've heard people say that they've run these through washing machines and whatever else, it's still working. Having that chipset taken out of the equation has definite benefits. Okay, it does have drawbacks. As this battery starts to get lower and lower and lower, your vape quality decreases slightly. All I will say is, with this 1.8 ohm clearomizer, the Nova on top, 2,200 miles should last me 2 or 3 days, realistically, because it's just you're using very little power. Because you're not up and down in it all the time. You're not pushing the device seriously hard. You're not trying to rape the crap out of the batteries. I can't remember what else I was going to say.
Can I get to my story now then? Well, what was it, like a week ago now?
Last night and about a week and a half.
Yeah, but last night it worked. The week ago, he near enough died from vapor. The point being is, we like we said earlier, this bottom cap will screw it into that, and when you put the extension cap on that with the base from this, you get a dual stacked 18500s.
You can stack 18350s in this. I do want to point out before we get properly into the story, you can stack 18350s in this. Do not stack your batteries
in a mechanical mod.
Do not stack them in a do not stack them in any mod unless it's made to do it. The Vamo is made to do it. All right. Basically, in the Vamo, you put two 18350s in, you check your batteries. Those of you guys that bought Vamos on a recommendation will know this. You put the two 18350s in there, as opposed to having 3.2 and 4.2 for empty and full, you have 6.4 and 8.4 because you've doubled it. All right. Do not stack batteries in this mechanical mod or any mechanical mod. It's not made to do that.
So basically, we had two fully charged 18500s pushing out 8.2.
About 8.4 before drop off under load. I don't know. I'd imagine it's not going to drop much. Maybe to 8 at best.
Yeah.
So stacked 4,000
somewhere between 8.2, but like either side of that could be variable. But basically, you put on a 0.5 ohm dual coil.
DDA. I'd whipped.
And he thought, yeah, it will work with 8.2 volts.
It did.
Yeah,
it did work.
It did work. If you want to vape burnt silica taste.
Well, I did get a little bit of liquid taste, but mainly it
for
was
like
just
half a second. If that, we're talking fractions of milliseconds here.
Basically, what it equates to, I can't remember the exact math, but I think I calculated 8.2 volts and 0.5 ohms. So around 135 watts, I think, is what it was.
He coughed for about 10 minutes, near enough, from just doing one pull on this thing. I mean, he's not a small bloke, and to knock him over is going to take a lot. This thing, near enough, knocked him over. He was literally heaving, and like most of the time, he will try and get me on stuff like this. If it tastes like crap, he'll go, "Yeah, that's amazing. Try that." This was one of the times that he turned around and goes, "You do not want to try that. That was terrible." He was like gagging and everything. It was just, I was sitting there pissing myself.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like. I run my dual core DDA on this and it works lovely, like 5 ohm single battery, and that is one of the main reasons why I bought this. The fact that I have come to quite like this and I use it on the 1.8 nose and stuff, the battery life is fantastic, it's very rugged, it's very versatile. There's not a lot you can do to this to break it, alright, unless you bend in tubes and literally fracturing stuff on it. There's not a lot you can do to break it. It is beautifully simple. I don't worry about taking this out of me. It is so small. It fits in my pocket. I can stick a Nova in there as well, and I'm good for the day. It's not a big issue. It's nice to just, if I'm popping out to the shops, ain't worrying about my case. Take these. I'm off. I'm away. Fit in my pocket. It's a very, I want to say, charming little mod.
It's got its little something about it. You can't quite put your finger on it, but it's nice to just have. It's just like, you don't regret it.
No, I'd rather have this than an Ego battery all day long.
There you go.
If you're using mods and stuff, a spinner's going to cost you like, say, 25 quid. This is only going to be like 30. So I would rather have this as a backup than anything else. And the fact that I can push any coil I want at any resistance is beautiful. And it is just very well built. It's a nice piece of kit. And for 30 odd quid, £31 or £33.82 to be precise, with tax, before discount codes through pink-mule.com. It's very nice. I actually really do like having this. I do use this now pretty much as much as I do the Vamo. The Vamo has its definite features. I mean, with this you can't test your ohms, you can't vape in watts, you can't go up to 6 volts, you can't do all that kind of stuff. But my way of thinking is, well, I can go, yeah, you don't go up to 6 volts. Okay, so you take a 2.5, 3 ohm coil up to 6 volts, fair enough. Give you about 14 watts. That's good. I can take a 0.3 ohm coil to 4.2 volts and give myself 40 watts. So it does. You, instead of increasing your voltage, you reduce your resistance in this.
I would like to say though, with getting those low ohm coils, you have got to have a seriously low resistance wire for a single coil, or you've got to be wrapping dual coils all the time, which is obviously going to use a bit more than what you would normally use. But for us, that doesn't matter. We got amples of stuff lying around, both in his box, both in my box. If anyone else runs out, we normally just go, yeah, have a week, whatever sort of thing. But like for people out there that are running on like budget, this would be nice to have.
Even if you're just going to run your like your single core bows at 2 ohms and your dual cores maybe, and your clearomisers. This hasn't got the ego threading on it, so you would need an adapter for something ego threaded like a C4 or a Kanger or a V3.
I think the V mod as well, isn't it?
What, sorry?
The E mod?
EVOD.
EVOD.
The Kanger EVOD, yeah,
The
that's
Kanger
Kanger.
EVOD.
That's ego threaded also. But all your 510s will fit in there. It has got quite a nice size as well, as you can see there. So dripping juice isn't too much of an issue. But with this, if you drip juice,
there's no chipset in there. That
yeah, I don't rinse it under tap because I don't wait for it to dry. But I will quite happily get a little bit of a wet cloth in there, wring it all around, and it's back to perfect working quality. There's very, very little that goes wrong with this.
I'm quite sure there's a lot you could replace on that as well. Like if like you wanted to rip out the actual threading on that, you could probably replace that if you're a little bit tech savvy and that. So you can modify this in any way you want. You could probably use this to put into a box mod if you wanted to use it that way, sort of thing, and have a.
You wouldn't need to though. To make a box mod that's mechanical, all you need is the battery holder and some wires, a switch, and a 510 connection.
Basically, a battery holder, isn't it? With
yeah,
a button.
I wouldn't bother making a box mod though.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, for people out there, whatever, if it does eventually, like you do bend your tube on that, don't feel worried about it. You can bend it back out, and if it doesn't feel right in your hand still, you can recycle it to whatever you want. I mean, it is very, very versatile.
It's a lovely little mod. It looks brilliant. It really does. I mean, if I get me 1 second over here again. Sorry, guys. If I get my oh god, I don't know what. Is that my Arga?
Yeah,
oh well.
If
I get my stainless steel drip tip, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the clear tanks, but it does look very good. I know there's a bit of a width thing going on there, but Worm Zeus on this looks wicked because it basically fits the size of it. The A7 don't look too bad, although it doesn't like to perform at times. But it's just lovely and simple. I think that's the main thing I like about this. Is there's no real maintenance. It's telescopic, so any size battery will go in it. It won't take the 14 500s and that some of the other mechanical telescopic mods will. But most of the mods that we use, all of them, are on 18 batteries, and it doesn't matter what I've got. So I can have the VAM. I've got a couple of 18650s, 18500, some flat tops. I've got 18650, some nickel tops. Whatever it is, I'll grab the nearest battery that's charged and I'll stick it in, and it will take it all day long, not a problem whatsoever. So I think it's brilliant for that. It is really, really good.
It's very versatile. It is very versatile, especially on batteries. It is. It's just one of those ones where any battery will do it. Done job. So I mean, there's much more we can say about this. It's really good.
A little point review about it.
Yeah, the point stuff.
Looks for me, it's a 9.5. Okay, the button on there. I was looking at Sigeli 19. I actually said in the video I was looking at Sigeli 19. I can't remember what it was, and it had the button on the bottom. And apparently, they do feel very comfortable to use. Those buttons at the bottom. Having got this, I don't regret getting this at all with this button on the side. It's actually very nice to use. The button on the bottom, I think, would have taken a little bit of getting used to, but it does give you a nice flush body. But the button protrudes, because I'm running it on 500, so you've got a gap in between the two body sections, which looks quite nice. The slatting there and the slatting on this adjustable airflow matches with the Nova, the drip tip. Just that little stuff there, for me, looks brilliant. I'm really happy with how that looks.
First of all, looks for me, it does look alright. I mean, it's not your type of thing. It's not my type of thing, so I don't like how that button is so far out with the locking mechanism there. But that's obviously so far out because of that locking mechanism. They could probably tuck that in a nice little bit deeper than that without the locking mechanism. So, but overall, looks for me, it's still like an 8.5. It's still not ugly by any means, and just like it does look really, really, really nice on most stainless steel devices like tops that you're going to put on top of it.
But also, it looks better than a lot of mechanical mods, and for this price, I haven't seen a better looking one. And in my opinion, it looks 100 times better than a spinner or a standard ego battery. Yeah,
definitely it's better than an ego battery, but it's still not my preference, especially when I've got a Vamo and my Pravari over there. In terms of me, nothing's going to beat my Pravari for looks because it's just not. Sorry.
There you go. That's a preference thing though. Usability. 10. One button. Put the battery in and screw it down. It's a 10. Honestly, you can't get this wrong. If you do have one and you manage to, let me know how, because I can't see a way you can get this wrong. As long as that battery goes in nipple top or positive up and the flat end down, you can't get this wrong. It's very easy to use.
Again, yeah, same for me. Usability is a 10. It's one button. Put in your battery, you're away.
Maintenance, it's 5 parts. The top 2 parts, the top part and the airflow ring, the telescopic connector, and the base. That's it. and obviously your section with the button.
Okay.
Maintenance is 10. It's very easy to clean.
I haven't used it to like clean or anything, so I can't really say, but it doesn't look hard. I've seen him take it apart 7 or 8 times like today, just because he was like playing around with his little air hole and that. So it's a 10. It's everything's. It goes where it looks like it should go.
There's nothing you can get confused and put in the wrong place.
No,
it's all very easy.
Very idiot proof. So yeah, 10.
I mean, obviously, Flavour Vapor would be our typical next one. We can't really do Flavour Vapor on this because it's a mod.
Depends on your device that you're using.
Indeed, but I would say that this delivers it very consistently. Whatever it is, this will deliver that power.
As long as you've got the right coil or the right ohmage device in there, it's going to work.
It's very nice. I really enjoy this actually because the vapor is just, it tastes. If I put this is run at 3.7. If I put the VAMO on this run at 3.7, the taste of this is just cleaner. You can hear the VAMO modulating that voltage, whereas this is just pushing out its maximum constantly. And obviously, as the battery gets lower, so does the power. It makes sure it's just a constant good vape all the way through. It does taste very clean, as long as your coil is of the right resistance. Don't try and run a 4 ohm coil on 4.2 volts for full battery. It's never going to work. I find around 1.5 works pretty well consistently all the way through. If you're using like a little DDL or something, 1.5 on this, it will take you all day, and you can still run that quite happily at 3.4 volts when it's at the empty end. If you're using one of these 2,200 mAh batteries, you charge it at night, you're never going to meet the empty end, to be honest with you. Overall, did you? Yeah, I haven't really got anything to say that there.
No,
overall,
it's the same.
If you include the price, the looks, it's like a 10 for me. I really do like this.
Yeah, for me, it's still going to be hitting around about an 8, just because it's just not my preference on look, and I don't. If I was going to buy, if I was really interested in dual coiling low ohmage, which I'm really not, as a one-off payment, I would probably buy a one that looks better, which is probably going to cost me about 80-90 quid. But I would be willing to sacrifice that for my looks. So it's personal preference.
I've seen ones though. I mean, I've seen the ones. A lot of these. The reason I wanted telescopic because a lot of telescopic, the top end is smaller than the bottom end, like the Sigilli 20, for example. I don't like the way it looks. I like it the way it all blends. And the other ones that are more expensive, they have removable tubes. So you put one tube on for this size, one tube on for that size. I wanted a true telescopic for looks. There's nothing really apart from the 19 in this price range.
But that's what I'm saying.
Even twice the price.
If I was going to buy one, I would sacrifice a bit of extra cash for the looks that I
Your
want.
main bugbear really is the button.
Yes.
And that button is on these mechanical mods all the way through. Unless it's right at the bottom. You either have a button there, or a button under here. I'll be honest with you, I don't think you'd be happy with any of them because all of the buttons protrude quite a lot.
I probably won't buy one.
Mechanical mods aren't his thing.
I'm not interested in low ohmage dual coils and that. If I was going to do a dual coil, I'll probably still set up for like 2 ohms so I can run it on my VAMO or my Bavari at worst case. It's low ohms really doesn't interest me. I wouldn't buy one, but if I was, I would probably sacrifice a bit of extra money for how I want it to look.
Looks is very limited though. It's something I've got to take into account, and obviously performance is limited in terms of.
But still, it's an overall of an 8 for its price. It is a banging little mod. It really is. It's just
very good. I think I love this.
I don't mind not using it. I mean, like he passes it over to me with his devices to try stuff, and it's fine. I don't mind using the thing. It's just if it was mine, I wouldn't buy one. I wouldn't buy a mechanical mod. End of. It's not me. So
you can't really say much more simple than that. At the end of the day, if you're looking at mechanical mods, then you know what you want to look for. I mean, they're all going to perform fairly similar. There will be differences, obviously, in the quality of the springs and stuff. It all affect, but they're all fairly similar. It's not like when you've got like VAMOs all the way through to Bavaris, where each one regulates the pulses slightly differently, and some have different features to others. Some do the job better than others. This will do the job just as well. Some may do it slightly better, but realistically, it comes down to your battery a lot of the time. If you're looking at mechanical mods, this is a great place to start, definitely. I'm very happy with this. I can't really say much more than that. It's just very, very good. Much better than any Ego or anything else that you could get your hands on. Yeah, I do like this. On Little Nova 1.8, it just looks wicked, and it runs all through really well.
There you go, guys. I think we've kind of hit the notes.
I think we've come to the end of this review. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at WormBigNProton, and Facebook is.
It is Worm and the ampersand, the symbol for and Proton dash Chapin chasing the perfect vape.
Chasing the perfect vape.
No, we're chaping the perfect vape.
We're chaping the perfect vape. Yeah, if you wanna follow us, you're more than welcome. And we'll link pink-mule underneath as well. You know, shout out pink-mule fuel times. They've got quite a lot of stuff. Well, actually got loads of stuff on their site. It's loads of good stuff as well. Prices from the bottom end all the way to the top as well, which is pretty good. So definitely check them out. I know a few of our regular subs, Dan. I know you've ordered a Zeus. My I believe you ordered a Zeus as well. You won't be sorry about that. It's a lovely little dripping out. You're actually going to do that review in a minute. Are we going to show them how to rebook it?
I don't know yet.
Probably. So yeah, have a look at pink-mule. It's a really good site. Thanks for watching, guys. I have been Mr. Proton, and this has been The Worm.
Catch you soon, guys.
See you soon, guys.